Welcome everybody, so lovely to see you all this evening, and thank you for coming. And we do this practice together of Vajrasattva, the four opponent powers, and purify our minds and our bodies and our speech. So this is excellent, so wonderful. Welcome. All right, now, so let's first of all, we just start by settling into our meditation. This meditation posture. So just, this is just a really good way to settle the mind. So just check your feet, and if you're sitting on your chair and the feet are hanging down, make sure they're in a parallel position with the feet flat on the floor. And if you need to raise your feet under a cushion so that your legs, lower leg is at a right angle to the upper leg, then you can do that. Make sure that pelvic bowl is upright, so your sacrum is not slumped either too far forward or too far back. So otherwise, if your legs aren't down and you're in a cross-legged position, just very easily sit comfortably. If you need to put cushions under your knees, cushion under your hips, under your sit bones, just whatever you need to do to make yourself comfortable. The hands in the meditation mudra, right hand nestled in the left, the thumbs touching. So let's just imagine we have, our spine is made up of this a string of pearls of light, and it's going from our coccyx all the way up through the crown of our head and out. And you can imagine there's someone at the crown of the head very gently lengthening the spine. So just also make sure our shoulders and hips are aligned. So you're not leaning too far back or too far forward. Just in a very relaxed way, but nice and straight. And there is no completely straight spine because we all have curves. So just the idea is to just lengthen, get the crinkles out, put some space in between the vertebrae. Head is slightly tipped forward. Eyes are down, just looking at a spot ahead of us, about 2 inches in front. Tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth and relax the jaw. So let's just go to the crown of the head. Relax the crown and the forehead and the temples and the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, and the jaw. And relax the mouth, and the ears, and go to the back of the head and relax the scalp, and your neck, and your shoulders, arms, hands, and fingers. Relax the front of the neck, the throat, your chest, and your belly, legs, and feet, and toes. Now just bring the mind to the breath. Just notice the sensation of this cool air as you're breathing in and slightly warmer air as you're breathing out. It's over the edge, over the outside of the nostrils. Bring the mind to the breath. And then think we're doing this meditation this evening, this Vajrasattva purification in the context of the four opponent powers. We're doing this so we can remove all the karmic seeds that will be potentially ripening in the future as suffering, which we do not want. And we're doing this on our way, as we're making our way towards enlightenment for the benefit of ourselves and all sentient beings. So just to remind ourselves, there is no negativity that we cannot purify. And so what we're doing this evening is basically a psychological process. So we create negativity with our mind, so therefore we can create positivity with our mind. We can change the way we think. So the first of the four opponent powers is the power of regret. So this is not guilt. Regret is more a form of taking responsibility, acknowledging that we've done something and just feeling sorry about it. We regret it. And also, as LAMA YESHE Rinpoche says, regret contains an element of purification in itself. So we regret for the depths of our hearts anything we have done to harm any living being today, in this life, past week, past month, or in past lives. And think of specific actions of your body and your speech. And then maybe just generally regret even the things that we don't remember, we don't recall, but we've harmed others. And so the reason to regret is based on the logic of karma. Given that we're experiencing everything due to our past karma, our past actions, having harmed others, we're going to necessarily experience the ripening effects or suffering in the future. And so the sufferings that we're experiencing now, discomforts, arguments, horrible bosses, things like that. That's kind of difficult. We don't want to invite any more in. So the logic is therefore to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering. So think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech and broken my vows. So if you have Pradamoksha, Bodhisattva, Tantric, and I have my nun's vows, if they've been degenerated in any way, perhaps you've forgotten what they are even, or you've broken them. So you've broken your commitments, you forgot to say them one day, or fell asleep before you'd finished saying them, something like that. So we don't want the future suffering. So we regret also the anger and attachment and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. So we think, what can I do about this? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the second of the four opponent powers, the power of reliance. So we take refuge. We rely upon, firstly, refuge, secondly, compassion, but firstly we'll do refuge. We rely upon, turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. We're not asking Buddha Vajrasattva to purify us. We want to use his methods. We want to purify ourselves. We're relying upon his methods. So just imagine this image here in front of you, Guru Vajrasattva, above the crown of your head. Except this is kind of translucent, blissful light you're imagining, almost like a hologram, and radiating light. About 2 inches above the crown of the head, facing the same way as you. And you can also imagine this is the mind of your Lama, your teacher, your trusted mentor, manifesting in this aspect for your benefit. You can imagine he's made of radiant, blissful white light, as I said, and he's sitting in a cross-legged on a lotus. He's got this beautiful radiant face, his eyes, he says lotus-like eyes, long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all sentient beings. He has no judgment towards you. He knows all about us and doesn't care. Just accepts you for who you are. There's this sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot, and his arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. His left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents the union of these two, symbolizing enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. So we say a refuge prayer here to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So then there's this little section on compassion. So we want to develop compassion. So in order to do this, we need to rely upon other beings, in this case the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think firstly, particularly people that you have harmed recently and perhaps in the past. maybe physically or with your speech. Maybe you accidentally trod on a spider, or you brushed a mosquito out of the way and harmed it. And in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And so remember those who have harmed you. So we have compassion for them, because the suffering that they have caused you is going to ripen for them in the future as suffering for the harm they've done to you. So you make strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine. This is the practice that we're doing. And we first of all start with the purification of the body. And so just imagine, to visualize, Guru Vajrasattva, who's in the crown of your head, very compassionately sending this powerful white nectar. It's quite strong from his heart. It arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And so imagine it just keeps pouring in, and it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you, disappearing into space, not one atom left. And just keep visualizing this as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Ma Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So now be delighted that all the harm that you have ever done to any living being with your body is now completely purified. And just think that you can only be of benefit with your body to others from now on. How amazing. So next is the purification of the speech. So again, Guru Vajrasattva very happily sends this powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, and it fills your entire body. Except this time it forces up to the top of your body all the negativities of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just as Lama Yeshe says, when you turn on a tap in the sink and fill the dirty glass, all the junk comes up to the top and overflows. So just imagine like this, all your delusions of speech. So imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and the lying, talking about people badly behind their backs, getting other people to agree with you. All this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebolwa Sutokaya Mebolwa Supokaya Mebolwa Anarakta Mebolwa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebolwa Sutokaya Mebolwa Supokaya Mebolwa Anarakta Mebolwa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebolwa Sutokaya Mebolwa Supokaya Mebolwa Anarakta Mebolwa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebolwa Sutokaya Mebolwa Supokaya Mebolwa Anarakta Mebolwa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebolwa Sutokaya Mebolwa Supokaya Mebolwa Anarakta Mebolwa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebolwa Sutokaya Mebolwa Supokaya Mebolwa Anarakta Mebolwa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebolwa Sutokaya Mebolwa Supokaya Mebolwa Anarakta Mebolwa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And just imagine it's not possible to be anything other than beneficial with your speech. So just imagine that when people hear you speak, the sweet sound of your voice will be a benefit to them. That's an amazing thought. So the next is the purification of the mind. So Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of laser light this time from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown chakra and fills your entire being. So just imagine it's the same as when you walk into a room that's dark, you switch on a light, that light instantly dispels the darkness. This is the same. So just as when the light from Guru Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all the attachment, the neediness, the wanting, the anxiety, the anger, depression, jealousy, resentment, bitterness, all instantly dispelled, not one atom left as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebolwa Sutokaya Mebolwa Supokaya Mebolwa Anarakta Mebolwa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebolwa Sutokaya Mebolwa Supokaya Mebolwa Anarakta mebowa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajra mame mutsa vajra bawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina mebowa sutokaya mebowa supakaya mebowa Anarakta mebowa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajra mame mutsa vajra bawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina mebowa sutokaya mebowa supakaya mebowa Anarakta mebowa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajra mame mutsa vajra bawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa Anarakta mebowa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajra mame mutsa vajra bawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa Anarakta mebowa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajra mame mutsa vajra bawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina mebowa sutokaya mebowa supakaya mebowa Anarakta mebowa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajra mame mutsa vajra bawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So again, be delighted. All your delusions, which are the source of your own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified and gone. So think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So now, and then finally, we purify even the imprints of negativity of our body, speech, and mind. So this time, imagine the Guru Vajrasattva sends light again, and it fills you completely, and it eradicates even the subtlest imprint of negativity from your mind. So the visualization here can either be the previous 3 visualizations of the body, speech, and mind. So we've got 2 of nectar and 1 of light, or you can imagine nectar and light coming at the same time as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa Anarakta mebowa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajra mame mutsa vajra bawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa Anarakta mebowa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajra mame mutsa vajra bawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa Anarakta mebowa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajra mame mutsa vajra bawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa Anarakta mebowa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajra mame mutsa vajra bawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa Anarakta me balwa sawasidi me be yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dira mebalwa sutokaya mebalwa supokaya mebalwa anarakta mebalwa sawasidi mebe yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dira mebalwa sutokaya mebalwa supokaya mebalwa anarakta mebalwa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitam me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So now feel that you're completely purified. Not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So the fourth of the four opponent powers is the power of resolve. And this is a very crucial step, and is the determination to not harm with our body, speech, and mind again. So without this, we're going to keep following the same old patterns. We're going to keep doing the same habits. And so this aspiration to try not to do all these things again is the beacon that guides us and gives us the courage to change. So if there's something you would like to work on, to think about, that maybe you would like to refrain from for 1 minute, a couple of seconds, 8 hours, overnight while you're sleeping. So that you can just think of that now, make a determination, and give yourself a reasonable timeline. Don't make it 12 months. By 12 months, we'll even forget what it was that we said we weren't going to do. So something reasonable. So then generally just make a vow to try and make an effort to avoid some of the negative things that we do. And then maybe try and gain a recognition of some of the negative things we do. Some of these things we're not even aware of, actually. So to conclude, just imagine Guru Vajrasattva from the crown of your head is absolutely delighted with us. So wanting to merge with your mind, he melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. You think, my Guru's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE calls this union oneness. So next, Lama Zopa Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. So in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action, of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So place your mind in that emptiness for a little while. And in this way, at whatever level you understand emptiness, just think about all phenomena as empty, not existing from their own side. You can also think that things are dependent on other things. Things are dependent on risings. You can also think that perhaps things don't exist the way we think they do. The way we see things is not necessarily the way they are. And even just to think like this helps to break down our sense of things we think are permanent and fixed. And our view of them is right. So now we dedicate all the merit and the positive energy we've created this evening by doing this purification. Dedicate to all living beings, thinking, may all the virtuous karma I have created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So, Mary, let's go to the long life prayers. His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, May all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. For LAMA YESHE, you uphold the subduer's moral way, who serves as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjana's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers, honoring the three jewels, saviour of myself and others, your disciples. Please, please live long. And for LAMA YESHE, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe-la, beloved teacher, leading your students towards wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path. You are the unequal guide. Please live long. Please live a long and stable life. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. It's always so lovely to see you. Lots of love. And you can go to bed now with a happy mind. Just relax. Thank you so much. You can chill out now.